Well, happy holidays. I'm Nicholas LaValle, the Town of Merrimack's Media Services Coordinator, and I'm joyfully joined by Justin Slez, our Assistant Media Services Coordinator. Justin, thanks for doing this with me today.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure, Nick, so
And
happy to be here.
I should point out Cameron McDonald, one of our part-time media assistants. He's on camera, so thanks for also being here with us today, Cameron. Here we are again, Justin. It's the holiday season, and nothing kicks off the holiday season quite like Merrimack's annual holiday parade. This year, the theme is a Charlie Brown Christmas.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Have we had themed parades before? I'm not really sure.
Oh, yeah. Each year, Matt
okay.
Kasparius puts on a parade. There was I think last year was a rock and roll.
That's right.
Holiday
Nick.
parade,
Yes.
yeah. And it was definitely rocking. The weather wasn't very rocking,
No,
but
it certainly wasn't.
today's different. Today is actually pretty comfortable outside. There's a little bit of rain. We're obviously indoors. We're warm, so we're bundled up, but I mean, I don't see a heck of a lot of gloves. Definitely hats out there to keep those ears warm. But everyone looks to be in good spirits, and I'm definitely in the holiday spirit. I can't wait. You know my favorite part of the holiday parade, right?
The candy throwing?
Spoiler alert, Santa at the end.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. I should have guessed.
He is in town, but of course, this parade's kicking off with our Merrimack Police Department Honor Guard.
Love that. There's Old Glory there.
You know, you just said candy is the best. Maybe, I mean, Santa and candy, you can't go wrong, right?
I mean, they're both pretty sweet, I would say.
Absolutely. And, of course, right behind the Honor Guard, speaking of sweet and candy, there they are, the Merrimack Police Department. I believe that is, yes, it is. Police Chief Brian LeVake is gently tossing candy.
Absolutely showering the crowd with some sweets today. Thank you to the Merrimack Police Department and all they do to keep our community safe. And speaking of keeping our community safe, here comes Merrimack Fire Rescue.
Absolutely. That truck looks great.
Very festive.
I mean, they're really, Christmas color year round, right? That bright, shiny red.
Yeah, absolutely. Always happy to see them out and about.
Of course, coming up shortly, we can expect the Merrimack High School Marching Band. We're big fans of the Merrimack High School Marching Band, of course, led by
Brendan McWalter. Who else but Brendan McWalter?
But before we get to the band, I think we have our friends from Bailey's Towing.
Yeah, that's right. Bailey's
right.
Towing snuck in a little early in the rotation this year.
Lineup, yeah. Sorry, I jumped ahead.
And Bailey's always has done an excellent job with the DUI program they do at the end of the year for the seniors.
Yes,
and they've changed it over to a distracted driving now because there's a lot of texting and driving going on. It's very dangerous. So we thank them so much for all the excellent work they do and to try and raise the awareness for our younger our younger community
we glossed
members.
over it, that is great work, and
Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off from
Go
that,
on.
but could we talk about their float? That was festive, and that was definitely Charlie Brown themed.
Please do, yes. That was I love that.
Of course, right behind Bailey's is a New Hampshire Towing Association with a good message. Slow down, move over.
Always heeding those words.
How many Charlie Brown themed floats are we going to see here? So we definitely have Bailey's, so that's certainly one. And let's see who else got into this season.
Pull out the Merrimack TV abacus and we can actually just slide a bead over for every time we see one.
Hey, if you're watching this on cable, you could download the Merrimack TV app and watch Merrimack TV from anywhere. So you can watch on-demand content, you can watch our live varsity sports coverage. Check out the Merrimack TV app. Just download it from your device's app store.
Nick, you know my favorite part about the Merrimack TV app?
What's that?
That you download it and it's ready to go. There's no username. There's no password. You download it onto your device, you open it up, and you just start watching. It's seamless and it's easy peasy. I love it.
Certainly. I think I hear the band. I think I hear the band coming.
Yep, I'm kind of leaning in. I can definitely hear them coming. They got some Christmas tunes.
There's lots of people that are in today's parade that we're very familiar with, and you can watch them on the Merrimack TV app. The Merrimack High School Band, the whole music program really is no exception, Justin. We have a few years' worth of Merrimack High School spring concert, winter concerts, cavalcade of bands, celebration of song, which features all of the district's music departments, Justin.
Yes, absolutely. And each concert just as good as the last, and they are all fantastic. Definitely encourage you to check those out on the Merrimack TV app. You can watch those anytime on demand. And, of course, we saw a lot of good marching band performances this year during the Friday Night Lights football. So.
Oh, fantastic performances.
Absolutely. So you can check those out as well in between some football.
You know, and we obviously gave props to Brendan McWalter, but of course we can't leave out RJ Beck, who leads the chorus program.
I wouldn't ever think of doing that. I was going to mention him as soon as I saw him come through our line of view here, but both of those guys are an integral part of that musical program in Merrimack.
Justin, why don't we kind of take a moment here so we can enjoy the sounds of the Merrimack High School marching band?
I was hoping you would say that, Nick.
And of course, there's RJ Beck right at the end there.
Right at the tail end.
Fantastic job from the Merrimack High School Marching Band. We really admire those young student musicians.
Absolutely. RJ Beck at the end, he was last but certainly not least as part of that program.
Justin, this is the Girl Scouts.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yes, it's the Girl Scouts. And of course, the Girl Scouts are very prominent in our community. You know, every Girl Scout has their own curiosity, dreams, and talents. So when they come together to decide which of the thousands of Girl Scout activities to try, the sky's the limit.
It absolutely is.
And we certainly have seen some wonderful Girl Scouts here in Merrimack. If you download the Merrimack TV app, you can watch a Merrimack moment about Nora and the her Silver Award program, where she donated her time and renovated. She had led the initiative to renovate the theater at Wasserman Park.
Yes, and that is an absolutely fantastic Merrimack moment, and the project itself is absolutely stunning. So happy to have seen that. We also had Troop 60160 come into the studio recently over the summer, I believe, and the girls had a fantastic time, and we were so happy to have them. They used the community studio to create a global warming presentation, which you can also find on the Merrimack TV app. We would love to have you see that, and I'm sure they would too.
Well, you know, Justin, Girl Scouts have an endless opportunities to lead, and you can learn more at girlscouts.org, and you can also find the nearest Girl Scout troop to you through that website.
Oh, wow. Okay, great.
And from what I understand, there's a few different Girl Scout troops here in Merrimack, and there's also some in Nashua. They're really all over the state of New Hampshire. So,
yes.
So go to girlscouts.org to learn more.
Yes, and we would love to have any Girl Scout troops come through the community studio to see what we have to offer here. There's a lot to see and a lot to learn here in community media.
Okay, we have another Charlie Brown-themed float there, looking good.
Love that. There's Lucy, 5 cents to speak with the doctor, Dr. Lucy.
That may have been another Girl Scout troop. Wasn't quite sure. I don't want to attribute that float to the wrong person, but fantastic job on that Charlie Brown themed float.
Yeah, and the truck behind it looking pretty good, too. Not sure if it's Charlie Brown themed, but very festive for sure.
Very festive. What a wonderful day here in Merrimack, New Hampshire.
Would you want to be anywhere else right now, Nick?
No, this is where I want to be. And, of course, it's either, I believe that is Miss Lilac State, Athena Russell in that float. The Miss Lakes region and Miss Lilac State's mission is to help empower young women by awarding scholarship money to those competing for the titles of Miss Lakes region and Miss Lilac State. Just behind Miss Lilac State and Miss Lakes region is Broadway Bound.
Broadway Bound. Who else?
Our friends from Broadway Bound.
Looks like they were voted Best Dance Studio. So congrats to them.
You know, I believe it. There's a lot of talented people here in Merrimack, and there's several dance studios that we'll see throughout the parade, and most of them offer tap, jazz, ballet, different types of dance.
And here's some more festive folks for you.
Absolutely. Look at all those Santa caps.
Wow.
Certainly
and
another
pom-poms aplenty, I would say.
Absolutely another of one of the many dance studios here today in Merrimack. That could have very well been Broadway Bound. Difficult to see from our vantage point, Justin.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily putting out a lot of big banners and stuff for us without the Merrimack TV binoculars to see.
Right. But we appreciate those who have come through.
And we got some extra holiday folks just having their own good time out there. Looking good, another Santa cap. Just big enough for that tiny
Justin,
little head.
Here's our friends from Joyful Noise.
There they are.
They're a state-licensed daycare center that provides quality care and education for infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and students in their before and after school and summer camp programs. They provide a safe and engaging and inclusive environment that individualizes students' needs. That's great. So
that's
fantastic.
Awesome.
Also festive. We see Snoopy on top of the Joyful Noise.
Does he have his Red Baron scarf on, or maybe that's just a regular old scarf there for Snoopy? I didn't see his goggles.
Very festive, though. Very festive. Just behind that is the AmeriKids twirling team. I'm going to assume maybe there's some twirlers that are on their way up. The two folks who are carrying that banner.
I don't know if you've ever tried twirling a baton, Nick, but for sure trying to get up the hill and twirl a baton at the same time is definitely not in my wheelhouse as far as skills go.
Well, here they are, Justin. Here, definitely not disappointing. Here is the AmeriKids baton twirling team. AmeriKids have been providing high-quality baton instruction since reopening its studio doors in the late 90s, Justin.
Holy cow. Late 90s.
This is impressive.
When was that?
Festive for sure. These local twirlers doing their thing.
Wow.
I got to try that. I might sign
Yeah, well, it's not too late to ask for a baton for Christmas.
Let's see if I get one under my tree. Justin, it's at the top of my list right now.
It is. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to put that to the top of my list.
Hopefully you've been good this year.
I'd like to think so. This is certainly a festive day here in Merrimack. I'd like to give a shout out to Matt Kasparius, the Merrimack Parks and Rec Director, for organizing once again this year's holiday parade. Thanks for going with the Snoopy theme. I'm loving the Snoopy floats. And here comes another Snoopy float from the Cub Scouts, Pack 525.
Wow, absolutely awesome. Is that a gingerbread man? You're kidding me.
Yes, it
Wow.
definitely is. You know, Justin, the Cub Scouts participate in a variety of activities, including outdoor adventures like camping, hiking, water sports, as well as learning projects like building birdhouses and sending secret codes. Scouts earn awards and patches for completing activities such as pitching a tent, paddling a canoe, or even building a wood car. You can learn more about Merrimack's Cub Scouts by visiting Pack525.
Wow, thank you so much for that. And, of course, anyone out there that might be a Cub Scouts troop leader, you can always reach out to myself or Nicholas LaValle at merrimacknh.gov, and we'd love to have the Cub Scouts come in and see what we have to offer. And
sure.
Maybe we can check off a badge or two from their list.
Sure, send an email.
To add to their sash.
Send an email to merrimackTV at merrimacknh.gov. We'd love to hear from Cub Scout Pack 525. Maybe I'll visit.
Or others. Are there other ones in town?
Sure.
All right.
Maybe I'll visit pack525.com and send them an email and introduce ourselves to them.
That's a great
It'd
idea.
be great to have the Cub Scouts in here. We've had plenty of Girl Scout troops come through.
Girl Scouts, and I can't remember the last time we had Cub Scouts come through.
Yeah, maybe we'll lead with that. Let them know that, the Girl Scouts have been very prevalent here, and we'd like to have the Cub Scouts come in. Just anxiously anticipating the next float here. I can see in the back, in the distance, I definitely see some Peanuts characters. Of course,
who else but Be Well Studios?
Excellent.
Be Well Studios, they offer adult classes, kid classes, preschool, and you name it, they got it. Acrobatic arts, ballet, jazz, lyrical, hip-hop, musical theater, tap. So many things to choose from.
Justin, maybe that's what I knew that's on your list. I know it's on your list. You wanted to take a hip-hop dance class.
You've been talking to Santa. You've been talking to Santa.
Well,
hip hop. Actually, I've always wanted a nice pair of tap shoes. To be honest with you, I don't know if my downstairs neighbor would appreciate it.
Right.
So, maybe if my downstairs neighbor was naughty this year, then I'll get the tap shoes, and it'll kind of all even out.
Absolutely. Thanks to our friends from Be Well Dance Studios in Merrimack for participating in today's parade.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the dance studios kind of bringing the fun.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's plenty of fun to be had, but that extra movement really gets me going.
Great exercise. It's awesome to see so many boys and girls participating in these dance classes here in Merrimack.
And it's not just physical exercise, Nick. There's a lot of mental exercise that goes into it too, and keeps you mentally sharp. And there's a lot to be said about just dance in general, even if it's not in a class. So,
absolutely. Oh, I host dance parties.
You do?
Yeah, absolutely. You have yet to come. I've invited you.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, that must have got lost in the mail. I guess.
Feel like you're just intimidated. That's why you should visit these dance studios in town. Maybe. To build up some confidence.
Yeah, brush up on my moves, and then I'll be ready for a Nick LaValle dance party soon enough. My New Year's resolution is going to be being good enough to head over to one of those dance parties and not be totally embarrassed.
That's what we need on Merrimack TV. Like Dance Party USA, MTV, Club MTV, those sort of things. We need a dance show on Merrimack TV.
We absolutely do.
Hey, here's another awesome... Oh, wow. Okay.
Are you serious right now?
Let's just soak this in for a moment.
Okay.
Let's just listen. That's the Merrimack Cardinals with a rockin' rendition, almost like an Eddie Van Halen style rendition of the Peanuts Christmas theme.
It's incredible.
Incredible.
Great licks on that guitar.
I'm not sure if we're allowed to pick favorites, but the Cardinals float is my favorite so far. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. And of course, Merrimack Cardinals, a football and cheer program here in town. Always doing a great job.
And our friends from Y Dance.
Y Dance in Motion.
The Y Dance in Motion is a competitive performance and recreational dance program conveniently located within the walls of the YMCA of Greater Nashua. So, Justin, there
Awesome.
you go. Hit him up. That's recreation. You're not looking to compete, or are you?
Well, we'll see, Nick. We'll see. Y Dance, part of the YMCA. Found at the YMCA.
That
it's
makes
all making sense now.
That
it's
makes
all
sense.
Really making sense.
YMCA. Exactly.
And here's one of the greatest heroes of the holiday season, the Public Works Department here in Merrimack. They're keeping the roads clean. They're keeping them safe. It's not the only thing they do, but when you're trying to make your way to work, it is very important that they get the roads clear for us and keep us safe. So thank you so much to the Merrimack Public Works Department. And just another great Snoopy and Peanuts themed float there.
That's a good one, too.
Look at that tree. The tree is so picture perfect.
Perfect Charlie Brown tree. And just behind our friends and heroes at the DPW is I believe that this is the Powerline Morgan Horse Farm, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I would imagine there's some horses in there. Yeah, you've seen those kind of on the highway or just on the road, and you kind of peek in. You're like, well, what's going on in there?
Right.
And there's the horse. So
we saw something fun that we saw here on Merrimack TV that you can watch on the Merrimack TV app was, and it's happening in Merrimack, where a neighborhood came together to rescue some rogue goats. Justin, remember that?
How could I forget? That's probably a top 5 highlight for my year.
Oh, it was great. You can watch that on the app. But the gentleman who came to retrieve his goats had a vehicle, similar to that. He had to load them in there. It was really fun with a positive outcome. That's the best part about it.
Thank goodness.
A positive outcome.
Yeah,
so that's
always
what we like to see.
Always love that, and we love to see Powerline Morgan Horse Farm. So giddy up, and all that. Okay. Who could this be behind Powerline Morgan Horse Farm?
I'm going to guess, and I believe that this is the Merrimack Magic softball team.
That is best guess of the day, I would say.
Merrimack Magic softball is the tournament and travel program for the MYA girls softball organization.
Yes, it is.
So Magic teams compete against both Babe Ruth and USA softball opponents. You can learn more about Magic softball by visiting facebook.com/Merrimack Magic.
Yes, I love that. Absolutely fantastic.
Of course, the MYA being the Merrimack Youth Association.
Of course, I was going to say it, and I was going to sing their praises. They do a fantastic job keeping all kids involved in youth sports here in town. So a lot on offer, and they're always looking for parent volunteers as well if you're out there and interested.
Absolutely. So again, facebook.com/Merrimack Magic.
Look who it is. It looks like Ed Hilston there, along with the Merrimack Rotary. Ed Hilston was in recently to do a show with Merrimack TV superfan Maureen Mooney about the turkey trot that's done on Thanksgiving every year. And, of course, right now we're running the Rotary Christmas tree episode. They sell Christmas trees down at Watson Park, and all that money goes to charity. It goes right back into the community. So thank you so much to the Merrimack Rotary for everything they do for their community. You can check them out, and they're always happy to have more people on board. And this must be Movement Christian Church.
That's exactly what it is.
There they are.
With their bus there, their truck. Would you say it's a bus or a truck, Justin?
Man, I'd call that like a box truck.
It's a box truck, yeah.
I'd have to.
Looks like you can learn more about them at welovenewengland.com. Is that?
I'd say that's fair.
Fair guess. I think that's what it said. It buzzed by so quick.
It did.
And I was also just thinking about the Cardinals float. So I kind of
still
that was so
still
I was,
lost in the magic of that
was
that rad
rockin'.
guitar solo.
That was rocking.
And speaking of rockin', here comes the Hillsborough County Sheriff.
Yes, there they are. The Hillsborough County Sheriff. And just behind that, I'm going to assume, Justin, it's our good friends.
Our great friends.
At Merrimack Student Transportation of America. They always do it up big, and that they basically turn their bus into Snoopy's doghouse. Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Although I think Snoopy might have fallen off there.
He's there.
Looks like
Woodstock is certainly there. And of course, Michelle Bancroft and Bill Olson worked together not fairly recently to do a school district update about school bus safety.
Yes, and you can see that on the app.
Yeah, make sure you check that out on the app, and always stop for that stop sign on the bus.
Yes.
And here comes Merrimack Towing, or Performance Towing, excuse me. Looks like they're towing some holiday spirit with them. Giving the wave a green Santa hat. That's kind of refreshing. I don't see a lot of green Santa hats. I think there actually was one earlier in the parade that I didn't mention. And, of course, O'Keefe Landscaping, always doing a great job.
Justin, those green hats are the elves.
The elf, of course, of course. Man, I didn't have enough holiday candy today to keep my brain running the way it should, so I'm going to blame it on that. And it looks like I haven't seen a whole lot of candy toss today.
There's been quite the police department definitely brought the sweets.
Definitely letting it fly. Oh, this has got to be the New Hampshire party bus.
Yeah, and apparently, Justin, they do Christmas light tours.
Do they really? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, the New Hampshire party bus likes to make you feel like a rock star. And you know what their number one goal is? For you to have fun safely.
Hey, I'm all about fun and staying safe.
Yeah, safety first, then teamwork, and having fun, of course. So, happy to see New Hampshire Party Bus. Who could it be?
And there they are, Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Santa Claus has come to Merrimack, Justin. And you know, as much as this feels like Santa and Mrs. Claus is the finale, it's not, because you know what's coming up next.
What's up next?
We're going to take viewers to the tree lighting at Abbey Griffin Park. And before we do that, I just want to thank you, Justin, for joining me today and spending a little bit of time. And I'd like to thank you at home for watching. Please download the Merrimack TV app to watch more Merrimack TV content from anywhere on any device. We'll see you soon. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.